Hi there. My video today is going to be some tips on identifying sterling silver jewelry when you're shopping to resell. So as always, my very first tip is you have to look. For the longest time, I was in and out of thrift stores because I was buying mid-century stuff. I never even glanced at the jewelry. Like, I just assumed that everybody who worked at a thrift store knew what stuff was and there was nothing good to be found. That is not true. I find great jewelry all the time, and it just took me looking for it to find it. So when you go in there, check out the jewelry counter. You're gonna find stuff. You're gonna find all sorts of great stuff. So this video is going to be specifically on sterling silver. So again, my number one tip is to look. There are some ways of identifying sterling. Sometimes sterling is marked sterling. Sometimes it's marked 925. Sometimes it's marked 800. It's the amount of sterling that's in whatever the mixture is. I think a lot of times it's nickel. I have a bunch of pieces here. You can see it. This is a really cool sterling silver bracelet. The mark is in this crazy obscure place, and it was actually together and I couldn't see a clasp because this one has this kind of funky clasp where you feed two little slits together, but the mark is teeny tiny. It's right there on that heart and it says 925. So I looked at it and I was like, oh, this looks pretty good. And then I twisted it around. The big heart is kind of a gold color. You can see there, I kind of assumed it was going to be there. And it took me a long time to find that mark close to the clasp. So sometimes if you have a feeling that it's silver, they can't find the mark and they've got it priced really cheap. You just have to look. You have to look and look and look really hard and know the places on the sterling where it could be marked. It always surprises me that it seems like some people who price jewelry in the thrift stores don't know what that 925 mark means, but 925, I find 925 marked sterling silver in the thrift stores all the time, super cheap. Number two is looking for the marks, 925. Number three is Marcasite. So this glittery, looking dark, sort of charcoal gray, blackish stone. It's called Marcasite, and Marcasite always seems to be on sterling silver. Why? I'm not sure. I never see it on white gold. I guess it's just not quite good enough for white gold, but it is perfect for sterling silver. And I've never found something that had Marcasite that wasn't sterling silver. The mark was it easy to find on these? The mark was actually on the clasp on these, like on the back part here. And I couldn't quite see it, but I knew because it was Marcasite it was going to be there. So I got it in my car and pulled out my loop and found out that sure enough it was Marcasite. Now these are also Marcasite. This one, these earrings here are also super pretty, really sparkly and glittery. The mark was on the back for those and I saw it pretty clearly, but the thing that drew me to it was the color of the stone and the color of the jewelry. Clasp. You know, I'm a big fan of a Lobster Claw clasp. Number 4, check out the clasp. That is a Lobster Claw clasp. I don't know if you can see it really well there. I'm going to try to get it where the light shows it. If you see a Lobster Claw clasp, 9 times out of 10, your jewelry is either going to be sterling silver or it's going to be gold. Sorry, my dog has the cone of shame on. He had surgery and he's flicking at it with that noise. So that Lobster Claw clasp, I grab every piece of jewelry that has a Lobster Claw clasp and I examine it everywhere I possibly can to figure out where the mark is going to be. I just threw a picture in there for you of that mark on that clasp, and also kind of right here, I don't know if you can see it right there. It also said 925, made in Italy. And the people at the thrift store didn't know. I think I picked it up for under $5. It was a really great buy. Number 5, a little patina goes a long way. So sterling silver, it'll get kind of darkened and dirty looking. Silver plate does it also, but if you look at silver plate really hard and it's dark like this, a lot of times you'll see spots that look kind of rusty because it's where the overlay of sterling silver has come off and there's a little bit of rusty corrosion coming through. But a good patina, when you look at a piece of jewelry that's mostly silver but kind of has this darkened, dirty look, that patina is also a good indication that you've got yourself a piece of sterling silver. This one was pretty clearly marked when I picked it up. You could see it in there. It's a Danish maker. They knew it was silver at the particular thrift store that I went to and got this ring. They absolutely knew it was silver, but they didn't realize that the maker was really good and they had that ring priced pretty cheap. So number 5 tip, look for a patina on the jewelry, and if it's got that kind of darkened look, chances are that it's also sterling silver. Good luck on your hunt. Thanks for checking me out again. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Check me out on Etsy at Craigo and Alice. Thanks.